I am proud to be president of this company, and I am proud to be Nanette Lepore's husband. But mostly, I am proud that Nanette Lepore manufactures 85% of her garments in the Garment Center. That's what I'm really proud of. Each year, more and more Garment Center factories and suppliers are losing their leases and leaving the neighborhood. This is happening now. What are we going to do about it? Save the garment district. What are we going to do? I can't hear you. I didn't hear that. Whenever I say that, will you please respond like that? That would help us a lot. Now I'd like to introduce to you past president of the Council of Fashion Designers of America and a great supporter of our cause, Stan Herman.
Can everybody hear me? Yes, yes, okay. I'll get a little poetic, but you don't mind that, do you? Here we are in the very heart of the Garment Center, the district that used to contain all of the necessary ingredients that we needed to produce clothing for the world, used to. Home to the showrooms of the finest designers up there, Oscar, Michael, all those people are there. There was a time when these designers could sketch, drape, or their creation fabricate it, cut it, sew it, and finish it in one afternoon. Remember that? Anybody remember that? Yeah. By the next day, it was at Bloomingdale's, at Macy's, down the block, in the hand of your buyer. Those days are now gone. But if you listen carefully, just listen carefully, you can hear those sewing machines still sewing, the pleaters still pleating, the cutters cutting, and the trimming still available if you look hard enough. We no longer compete with the Asian Rim for mass production. However, we can still hold our own with many European production facilities. Just ask Nanette Lepore. Just ask Anna Sui. Just ask Yoli. They'll tell you they've kept most of their production here, production that says proudly made in New York. The irony is that the American fashion business has never been more powerful. Never have we seen such a spurt in emerging groups of world-class talents here in New York. Never before have we been able to organize fashion the way the shows in Bryant Park are. We are now a destination for fashion, and I believe if we lose the core that produces fashion, if we rezone this area in a way that freezes the possibility of growth, we eventually will lose everything zoning was designed to enhance. The viability of an area, not to kill it. I know the city is fully aware of the need to have a manufacturing workforce. It also reaps the reward of soaring rents and air rights benefits. Trouble is, this fractured district has always been here. We've always been here. It's been taken for granted. The city didn't have to make it easier to be here when they did that for the film industry. Fashion, with all its warts and its surprising, robust bottom line, as far as I can remember, has never presented a united front until now. Rezoning is tricky. No one believes that we need the millions of square feet that rezoning tried unsuccessfully to protect in the 70s. But enough square footage has to be protected, even modernized, in order to keep up with the spotlight fashion that has on this city. When's the last time you saw a modern work facility in this area? I don't remember it. City officials now know this. They're here today. That's why we're here today, and I believe with our help, they can devise a strategy that made in New York is a desirable tagline for the next rezoning. Thank you.
We need to work with the city to fix them and come up with new ideas now. What are we going to do about it? I can't hear you. Save the Garment Center. Simply put, she's the grande dame of the runway shows, and she supported our efforts early on 100%. Let me bring to you Fern Malice, Senior Vice President of IMG Fashion. Fern.
Thank you, Bob. And greetings, everybody. It's so nice to see real people on these streets. and not just have everyone click a box on an email protest on your computer. We miss good old-fashioned rallies and protests. The hustle and bustle of these streets and the millions of jobs that made up the fashion industry are what got me hooked a long time ago. I went to work all the time, every day off from school with my father and my uncles who worked in all of these buildings. Let's all figure out a way to bring the jobs back, how to make Made in New York really mean something. I just want to remind everyone that back in 1993, when we first organized 7th on 6th, the tents in Bryant Park, for Fashion Week, there were naysayers all over the world who said it can't be done. New York and American designers would never be as important as the French or the Italian or even the Japanese who showed in Europe. New York was at best a marginal visit, not the real deal. And we got New York organized. And the world comes to New York now to see our collections first, and over 4,000 journalists and photographers come, and close to $300 million is pumped into New York's economy every season.
One of the first factories to ever work with Nanette Lepore. We had very small lots then, but he took us on and still works with us to this very day. I would like to introduce Roger Cohen and his father-in-law, Jack, who we dearly love. Him to be here today. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Bill Thompson, City Comptroller.
Thank you, Robert. Let me thank you and Nanette for getting us together this afternoon. New York's reputation as a...
My wife, Nanette Lepore.
Okay, I'm going to try to do this. As exciting as, I'm going to try to be as motivating and as exciting as Scott Stringer was. So everyone has to cheer along. No. Okay. 20 years ago, I came to New York City, a fashion student, with a $5,000 loan and a dream of building a business. Today, I employ over 130 people right here in the Garment Center. I could not have built my business without the help of the small factories, cutting rooms, pleaters, trim suppliers, lining vendors, and fabric showrooms in this neighborhood. These companies not only accepted and produced my small production lots, they were my teachers. They held my hand through my mistakes. They were nurturing and patient and had a true interest in seeing me succeed. I consider myself truly blessed to have been given this opportunity to achieve my dream, the American dream. Why deny that opportunity to others that are following behind us? We need our government to understand that it takes a village to make a dress. City Hall, Albany, Washington, Michelle Obama, we need your help. A designer cannot survive alone. Together we are strong. We will not give up our neighborhood.